Hi everybody, welcome to Ischia Global. It's another day, it's final day of this amazing event who actually has been collecting so many witnesses by so many great players from all over the world. And of course, we have here with us today so many other great friends. First of all, let me introduce you one more time, Godfrey Deeny, a journalist who's been spending his life all over the world with so many experiences in the show business. And then we have Maestro Bobby Moresco, you all know him, Oscar winner for Crash. We have another Oscar winner, Nick Vallelonga, actor, director, producer, and for Green Book, actually working in Italy with the Mediaset Group, Medusa, who actually is here represented by the COO, Chief of Content of Mediaset and Medusa, Alessandro Salem, as well as Marc Bikindou, who's actually here as a producer of a movie that is going to start soon, directed by Billy August, and from a book by Harry De Luca. I'm so proud that we announced this movie here during this week, and the shooting will be, of course, early 2022, because the atmosphere that Harry De Luca created in his book needs some lighting that just the Italian spring can guarantee. So, Godfrey, what is your opinion so far? We have been seeing so many players here, so many interactions, starting with your friend Ronnie Harlin 1 week ago. Now we're back tonight with the finale with Eli Roth. Sorry, actually, this is the wind. This is amazing wind. But going back and forth, you know, with the scooter, with the then sweating because of the sun, it's changing air conditioning. No. an old man like me, it's happening. So it's been a long week, a lot of meetings, a lot of opportunities of connecting. It's all about this festival, connecting people.
First of all, I'd like to say a big congratulations to you, Pascal, because coming out of the pandemic, it must have been very, very hard to organize a festival. But the French have a term, millésime, meaning vintage. And I think this is going to be looked back on in future years as a vintage year, because you've had so many interesting things here. You had the all-action movie, the European debut of The Misfits by Rennie Harlan, which was fantastic. You had, once again, a year of encounter with fantastic music. I think none of us will ever forget Andrea Griminelli performing his flute before the Castello Aragonese, and I think it was a magical moment. I also think there was another fantastic evening at Michelangelo's Tower. Only at Ischia Global Fest can you say that you had a concert and a dinner and an award ceremony at a tower of Michelangelo, the greatest artist of the Renaissance. I also think in the market of ideas, in the meeting of people from different disciplines, whether writers or producers or directors or actors, Ischia Global Fest has a unique role still to play. And in another area, this evening we're going to celebrate an exhibition of Massimo Cantini Parini, who is a brilliant costume designer. And of course the Italians have a fantastic tradition in that. And Massimo has done many movies for Renzo Martinelli, beginning in Barbarossa, all the way through to Dogman, which won in Cannes a couple of years ago. And that was directed by Matteo Garrone, who, once again, has produced probably the most, in the last year and a half, in the fashion industry. It's been impossible to stage shows. So many great brands have hired great directors to make their videos. And the single most beautiful video that anyone saw in the last year and a half in fashion was by Matteo Garrone, an Italian, for Christian Dior, whose designer also is an Italian from Rome, Maria Grazia Curie. I think finally, the other great thing about Ischia Global Fest, it's a meeting, above all, of America, of Hollywood and Italy, and in an era when people are trying to separate, especially coming from the previous president, and create walls, that there's no one who has reduced boundaries more in film in the last 25 years than Pascal Vicedomini, and a big hand for him for doing that.
Thank you, my friend. We were saying about the opportunities this festival creates, and a while ago, the year Nick Vallelonga won the Oscar, he connected while he was in Capri with one of the most powerful Italian player, chief of contents for Medusa and Mediaset, Alessandro Salem, who actually now they're making a project together, no Alessandro?
Sì, assolutamente sì. Sì, noi ci siamo appunto incontrati con Nick a Capri per Capri Hollywood 1 anno e mezzo fa, e mentre eravamo lì praticamente era Capodanno, era dicembre, fine di dicembre, in questa notte abbastanza piovosa, abbastanza strana.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, we met in Capri with Nick Vallelonga at during the Capri Hollywood event. It was 1.5 years ago, and we were there. It was almost a New Year's Eve. It was a kind of rainy night that night.
E lì è venuta fuori questa idea di scrivere con Nick la vera storia di Lucky Luciano, che sarà una serie televisiva che noi abbiamo intenzione di produrre e di distribuire in tutto il mondo.
And we got there the idea of writing this project, which is the true story of Lucky Luciano, which is going to be a TV series that we are going to produce and distribute all over the world.
Eccoci.
That's it.
No, ma a parte questo, so beside this one, I mean, so it's the importance to make this event happening, the importance to connect, especially right now after a very long period of struggling situation for the COVID. How will these meetings helps in order to make things happen? Because of course, with so many devices available now, there is always a more necessity of content. So it's something that I think really put you who actually make production and distribute with your chain in the condition that you need to work even more to be able to have so many own content instead of buying.
Assolutamente sì, nel senso che sicuramente questo è un momento in cui il mercato della produzione di contenuti originali sta crescendo tantissimo, quindi anche noi come gruppo televisivo quello che vogliamo fare è produrre molto di più e comprare molto di meno. Ovviamente dobbiamo trovare dei soggetti che vadano bene per l'Italia, quindi per il mercato locale, ma anche compatibili con i mercati internazionali. Lucky Luciano ne è un esempio, e certamente quello che dicevamo poco fa, che diceva Pascal, è che questi incontri che poi creano un networking di connessioni sono fondamentali per l'industria, perché è da qui che poi in realtà nascono i grandi progetti. Cioè, se non ci fosse stato Capri, io probabilmente non avrei mai fatto questa cosa con Nick Vallelonga.
It is absolutely true. It is absolutely the case. The market for original content is actually extremely important, and it is growing. It's really on the rise, and it is our intention as TV Corporation to produce much more our own products and buy much less. However, in order to do this, we do need to find subjects. We need to find stories which are suitable and suited for the local market, as well as stories which can be good for the international market. And it is absolutely correct what Pascal was saying before. This project probably would have never been developed, would have never seen the light had we found ourselves at Capri Hollywood. If we didn't meet there. So it is of fundamental importance to have this networking in order to be able for industry to grow and thrive.
So, Nick, what's your opinion about it? I mean, how important are these festivals in order to make things happen? It's obviously an opportunity for all of you actually to look after new ideas and new opportunities to create, to finalize your ideas.
Well, I mean, I know you're sitting here, but you don't get enough credit of what you've done. I mean, now it's been years of work for you, but I've only been to I think the first time I was at Ischia was 2 years ago, and I went to Capri, and I'm here again, and of course the Hollywood. But the opportunity to meet people and to bond with people, and it's done in such a way that you don't feel businessy, you feel like friendship and family, and that's how Alessandro spoke and met, and we talked about this project, and it's happening. I wrote the script for them, and now we're putting together the series. To have it happen in Italy too, because I'm Italian, it means even more to me, to do it. And Bobby could probably attest this. He's already filmed in Italy. He's been able to do that. So I look forward to that because it's special for us. And even Bobby, we know each other like 30 years now. We haven't seen each other in a while, but we see each other here. So we had to go to Italy to see each other again. And now we're going to work on something together again. So it is amazing, Pascal, what you have done, and it's an honor to be here, and it's such a beautiful festival.
Beside all these compliments, I would like even go more to go into the contents. So it's Bobby. Let's try to see if you can make it
better than me.
Yeah, you can make better than me because you are full of compliments. But of course, I don't ask you the question to have obvious compliment, which is very. I mean, I'm very grateful, but I'm trying to make understand. How this event can really, for example, Bobby Moresco, you met Andrea Iervolino I don't remember if you met here in Ischia or you met in Capri, and you did already many projects. So, how does in your mind, because also, you're coming, you go into an event and you don't know what's going to go. So, but how do you focus when you get such opportunities? How does the idea develops? We can tell that in Ischia has been. Then Marc will tell you exactly how did you work with Billy August, but I can remember Lee Daniels meeting Avi Lerner and then getting the money for the Paperboy, Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron starring, and like that so many other people. Tonight we're gonna honor as a breakout actress of the year, Clara McGregor. Yesterday we honored the executive of the year, Sophie Watts. I mean, many new faces who actually connect with maestros like you, and because of the world is changing, and of course it's important to keep going. And in other words, this is like for actor going to the studios and to start making their own coaching, no?
See, yes, for sure. First of all, despite your being so humble, none of this happens without you, Pascal, and we all know that. So you have all of our gratitude. Thank you for that. Look, the greatest thing about, and the difference between Ischia and Capri, Hollywood and Capri, is that there is no pressure from anyone to do anything other than enjoy themselves. It's like one family, and Pascal does that, and that's what we're all grateful for. Nick said 30 years ago we became friends. We've been friends ever since. We barely see each other. Now we're here in Ischia. We sat, we talked, we had a lot of fun, and now we're going to go to work on a project together. So that's tremendous. I met Andrea Iervolino from Pascal a couple of years ago. He pitched me a movie that he wanted me to do. I had a movie that I wanted to do, and he said, great, we'll do your movie first, we'll do my movie second. And we've shot my movie, and it's done, and it's over, and we're moving on to his movie, which I'm grateful for. And then we have a third movie we're talking about. So those kinds of things only happen in a place that is outside of the business element, when all the pressure has been taken away from everyone, and you just talk and say, hey, would you like to do this together? Maybe we can have some fun. Because ultimately, if you're not having fun, if you're not enjoying your life, it's just a waste of time. You know, you got to be doing something that you love with great passion, and all of that begins here. The other thing that's great about it, it's that it's an international, truly a global market, and now it's a global festival that Pascal has created, and we're all open to the ideas that we didn't think of. You're thinking of something else because of your experiences. Mark, you're thinking of something else because of your experiences. Nick and I have the same type of experiences, so we bond right away. But to be open to new ideas and new ways of not only making movies, but getting movies done, there's nothing like Ischia for that, and all of us, Pascal, are forever grateful.
To add one thing to
Yes.
make my speech a little bit better, what makes it happen is that, as we know, in Hollywood, the agents, the managers, the lawyers, by the time you talk to them, the deal is done. It goes away because it takes so much to get something done. Here, we meet, we talk, we say yes, we say no, and it's done. Bobby and I meet, we say we do it, we do it. That's very important too, because otherwise it takes forever. And this is so much more intimate. It's an agreement right away. You get to talk. I would never get to speak to him. I'd speak to people below him. The lawyers would speak. The agents would speak. But him and I, one meeting, we speak. We have a deal done. So that makes the big difference here also.
Marc Bikindou, how being an independent producer, I see you very active. You came here with Billy August and Harry De Luca, a project going on. I see that you are a very silent player, but then you make a boat trip with Nick Vallelonga. You wanna make a coffee with me and Bobby Moresco. Means that silently indie producer goes, and where is the fishes, the shark goes on him.
As a producer, we are looking for project all the time, and we are looking for talent and for friendship also. And Ischia is the best place to see if we can continue with a talent or a director or a writer, because once we start something, we live together almost for 2 years, 3 years. And sometimes, maybe some dream happened. We would like to work with this person, but we don't know that person. In Ischia, we have time in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. If we have a good chemistry, like it was with Billy 2 years ago, we have to do something together. We didn't know what. It took 18 months because I was sending to him books and say, do you like this story? Maybe not that one. But we were sure we're doing something together. And thank God, Vanessa said, why you don't ask your friend Eri? You love her, you love each other also. I read book from him, it's fantastic. I said, yeah, the first one. We sent to Billy. Billy loves 2 days, 2 days after, because we know each other very well. Okay, let's do that, let's start. And we start from the book with Massimo, Cristaldi. We start to write a script based on the book, and now we are ready to go. But we are very lucky, and thank you, Pascal, because we are shooting in Ischia for 3 months next year.
So, Alessandro, Salem, the difficulty to find new idea to develop, and the difficulty then to make it happen. In a world that looks for so many contents, it's always the same difficulty, because I mean, you've been working with Nick for now for 1.5 years, and still you need to focus, because maybe there is a constantly changing also in the way to approach a production and developing content.
Yes, it's always in a change. È sempre un cambiamento, è sempre un cambiamento molto potente e molto veloce. Le difficoltà di montare progetti importanti, quindi con un grande investimento, con un grande livello di investimenti, sono esattamente le stesse che c'erano 5 o 10 anni fa. Quello che cambia rispetto al mercato e all'evoluzione che il mercato sta avendo oggi è il numero di player internazionali che sono interessati ad avere contenuti che nascono in determinati paesi. Oggi l'Italia sta vivendo un momento molto positivo, secondo me, e ci sono tantissime storie che partono, che sono collegate a questo paese e che possono diventare con facilità contenuti internazionali. Mi fermo qua perché sennò andiamo.
It is a constant change, and it is happening in a very powerful and very fast way. Actually, the difficulties of setting up and developing important projects which require huge investments are basically the same as we had 5 or 10 years ago. But what has changed is in terms of the market, which is constantly evolving, is the fact that there is a much bigger number of players, international players who are interested in contents coming from different countries. And I think that Italy right now is going through a very positive moment because there are many stories stemming from this country which can have an international breadth.
Sì, e quindi per concludere, quello che io voglio dire è che alla fine la capacità di intercettare queste storie che sono direttamente o indirettamente collegate con i mercati locali da cui partono è strettamente connessa alla possibilità di incontrare grandi talenti come Nick, come Bobby, come tantissime persone che tu incontri, quindi di fare networking. Ed è da lì che nascono poi i progetti che riescono poi ad avere invece una risonanza internazionale importante. Se non ci fossero questi incontri, che oggi sono molto più semplici per certi aspetti, naturalmente le difficoltà aumenterebbero per fare progetti appunto con questa portata internazionale.
And what I mean is that basically at the end, the ability of finding these stories which are directly or indirectly connected to and stemming from local markets or local countries, then are connected also and linked to the possibility and opportunity of meeting great talents like Nick, like Bobby. And it is these meetings which are so important, because then it is from these meetings that then projects take life, the projects become concrete and are being implemented. And hadn't we the opportunity of these networking, which is of basic importance, then the difficulties to create projects and produce projects which have this international breadth would be much higher.
So, Bobby, you are in so many projects right now. When do you feel comfortable on a project that you are developing? How many times you keep changing to make? Obviously, being a creative producer, director, you have a storm going in your mind every single day when you wake up, no? And
when I'm sleeping.
And also when I was sleeping.
So are you asking about the writing process or the producing?
Yes, also about to choose the proper idea to develop in a certain time of the life, no?
There are a couple of answers to your question. In choosing an idea, usually you get an idea that you think is really terrific, and then you hope it goes away. And you hope it goes away and never have to deal with it again. And if it doesn't go away, then you know it's something you have to do. So on the idea, it's really whether or not it will stick with you. I promise you, every single writer on the face of the earth has 20 ideas in their head at any given moment. The one that sticks with you, the one that doesn't go away, that's the one you chase. And then from there, you either pitch out an entire idea in your head that you begin to talking with people like these three people here, even Godfrey as well. I'm not sure if you produce movies, Godfrey, but I don't think you do. And in pitching it and talking about it, you find out if it's something that we like together. And if it's something we like together, then we go down that journey. So, Pascal, the only time it's done is when it's in the can, and you move on to the next idea. But up until then, you were constantly rewriting and constantly reworking. And even when it's done, you wish you could do better, always. Always.
So, Nick, you brought here a movie, The Birthday Cake, and starring two of the most expected young actresses who actually are going to be honored tonight. Rosa, Claire McGregor, and the other name I still cannot pronounce, but I will go back with the name. So the two, Clara and the other, and their partner, and this was something that actually came out, this movie, by them, and then her father, Ewan McGregor, jumped on it, and then they involved you. From a little idea, then it grows a big idea. No?
Well, this I got involved with. I'm just on it as an actor, but it's the what I loved about it is I come from very small independent film. Bobby started that way, theater, a lot of theater, and so it to me it was a good old school New York little movie that just blossomed. They didn't have a big budget. The director is a fantastic artist, Jimmy Giannopoulos, who's a musician also. He's a band with Zoe Kravitz. He directed music videos. And this was his first film that he wrote with Raul Bermudez. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And they put together this amazing cast, amazing little story. It reminds me of a 1970s Scorsese, Mean Streetsy type of thing with its own style. So they asked me to be a part of it as an actor, and I jumped on board because, if this happened to come out great. I mean, they did an amazing job with no money, with a big cast. There's a lot going on in the movie. Val Kilmer is in the movie. Vinnie Pastore from The Sopranos. Paul Sorvino does a little bit. William Fichtner, if you know, is an amazing actor. So they have amazing actors in this film. And it was an honor to be a part of it. And, sometimes you just say, I'm going to do it because it doesn't need to be a success. This one happened to really work. But you have to support small films, small theater, whatever it is. If I can get involved with it, that's where my roots are. So I don't even, doing a big movie like Green Book happened. It's been fantastic for me, but I still think of myself, I have small little movies, and I'm working from the ground up. And it's from people who know someone else, and you band together to make a little film. And I'm very proud of them. They did a terrific job with The Birthday Cake, and we screened it this evening.
One thing I'd like to say is, film, besides being a business, which is a lot of what we see and it's great in Ischia, is also an expression of our time, a collaborative art form, which says something about who we are and how our world is changing. And what I love about Ischia is you see films which express that. From your movie, Green Book, which nearly in a way predicted the changes that would needed to be made in American culture and worldwide. It preceded the idea of people taking the knee to express that we see nowadays. To this current season here in Ischia Global, where you honored Ibrahim Gueye, a young black actor who played his role in this great movie with Sophia Loren about the idea of inclusion in Italy as well. And then even another movie, Fatima, about a convict getting out of jail and then having effectively to adopt a young gender fluid young man. All those, I think, are fantastic expressions, and that is also the duty of cinema, to tell us something about who we are and maybe hope that we will be slightly better ourselves and the next generation. And that's another reason I think, Pascal, you're to be applauded for the choices of the movies that you show here and the films that express something about who we are.
Okay. Marc, how complicated today is for an independent producer to find the money for making things happen?
First of all, for an independent producer, it has been all the time complicated. The only, each basically every 5 years, it's moving, it's changing. And what we have to do is the key is adaptation. Adaptation means looking at new investor, new network. Now, what is good for us, the state are back in the process for quite big money. Like in Italy, when we come here for production, they invest a lot in the budget, between 30 to 40%, which is very attractive. That's why on my side, I stayed 20 years in New York and used to work in Los Angeles with Avi during the 20 years. And I decided, when I came to Ischia 2 years ago, I don't know why. I told to my wife, we will move to Rome. Again, because 25 years ago, I started my first movie with Mediaset. And I was a baby producer, and I did this movie with Henri Cavill as the lead. It was his first movie.
Was the Guardia.
By the way, Teresa Razzauti.
No, sorry, I was enthusiastic, just a reaction, because I cast him probably for this movie, probably, I don't know.
Yeah, and Italy give luck to young producer, and I was on the circle is done because I came in Italy because of Abel. And he told me, you should go to Italy because there is a producer amazing. There is people, we are talking about Mediaset, they are amazing. You can go. They don't look at your color. They don't look at your age. They look at what you are doing and what you have inside. I said, let's go. And we we did the movie, it was Segreti di Famiglia, called Vendetta, with Emmanuel Seigné and Henri Cavill, and Sergio Castellito.
Oui, actually, it was one of my first movies that I cast.
Yeah.
I think the second movie that I cast in my life. So I'm so happy to meet you.
And I had all the time he stayed in my life. And after I've been to New Image on Millennium for 20 years, it was a different. But all the time I never forget. And now we are back. We are back here with a nice movie. Yes. And I'm lucky because I repeat, we will shoot in Ischia, which is amazing.
You shoot in Ischia.
Yeah, Teresa Razzauti, Ischia Award honoree this year for bridging Italian cinema, Italian actors with international cinema. She actually was responsible this year for the casting of the movie Gucci. The House of Gucci by Ridley Scott was shot mostly in Italy, starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Jack Huston, Al Pacino, Jeremy Irons, and many others. So we honor you in Ischia here because of your contribution to the Italian talents to try to be in international movies. So what is today the level of ability of the Italian actors in order to spread them out in the international movies?
Well, I have to say we have a big generation of young actors which speaks a good English and are very, very talented. And it's becoming more and more important. In the past, casting for international projects, it seems that the most important thing was speaking English very well, which to me, of course, is an issue, but first, it's not just to speak English, it's just also to have talent. I say, great acting skills. And so I work a lot in international productions, and I have to say, lately, I have so many great actors that are working in international productions. In the last 2 years, I worked constantly. 2 times with Ridley, and then I did a CBS series, a series between England and Italy, and I'm working actually, my English company, UK company, I named my company Casting the Bridge, which unfortunately now with the Brexit it's difficult. But the bridge, because my intent many, many years ago was to link this international production with Italian, working in England and in Italy at the same time. So this, I think, I achieved very well. And the most important thing that we have so many actors now that are working in international productions. And we have so many very, very good actors working in big series, talent, and we cast actually 70 roles for Ridley. And it's a lot. The industry in Italy is becoming bigger and bigger. And co-production, English is important, but the very important thing that I want to say, it's not just speaking good English that will give you an international career. This is absolutely important because very often director, they really like that an actor is good, and sometimes I introduce actors who don't speak a very good English, but they are absolutely right for the role. And you know, big director, they just fall in love with the essence of the thing. So yes, it's important. You have to speak English, of course, but it's not the very important thing. What else do you want to know?
So Alessandro, you are always in a big conflict with yourself, because in some way you are a very, very sophisticated producer that really knows a lot about the quality, and in some other way you, with your other soul, you need to produce very popular issues, very popular contents. So how is the combination between the very cultured Sicilian gentleman and a very, a very smart, let's say, popular producer?
It's a necessary combination. I live with these two souls for all my life. So now I'm really happy for that. You have to be popular to do sophisticated things in this world, because you have to start from the popular way of living, and then you can step out, and then you can step up to sophisticated movie or sophisticated project. But you have to start to intend and to understand what really people does it want, and then you sophisticate it, and then you follow your public. Of course, I have to do both things, because I do movie, fiction, TV series, but I have to do television. So I have to do Big Brothers, and I go to the L to doing Big Brothers. But you have to live with both things. It's my works, and it is since 30 years. So that's it.
So Bobby, all of a sudden, an Oscar changed your career. Although you've been a very serious professional for so many years, so marketing is quite important in the show business.
Marketing is all important. It does not matter if you make a great movie and nobody sees it. Without marketing, there's nobody going to come and see your movie. When we finished making Crash, we thought we were making a small movie, which we did, by the way. It was a very small budget. And Lionsgate, we had hoped they would come to us and say, 6 screens, we'd be very happy with 6 screens, New York and Los Angeles, to let the movie build. And instead they told us we're going to open up on 37 screens. And we went, oh, okay, we'll do that. There is no doubt that the fact that they opened up on 37 screens with a small movie that people got to see it, and eventually we were lucky enough to win the Best Picture and Best Screenplay and some other things. So marketing is all important. What else should I answer?
So okay, so let's put it another way. Nick, you are another one who actually have been working all his life in order to make things happen in your dream cinema movie, and then all of a sudden history, very simple history, but very popular issue made you popular, and this is all about your father life. So means that ideas are closer than we suppose to find. So it's in you have at home your ideas.
Bobby was actually hugely successful before he did Crash. I was just a bum still trying to make movies. He actually had a career. I was still trying to have a career. But I banged around doing a lot of little movies, a lot of theater. And Green Book was a story I had my whole life. And it just proves that, sometimes you have to know, I can't do this. But I always believed I could do it. And I always had this thing with me with my father's story. I just knew at some point when I got it made, and I didn't care if I made it with my iPhone and a couple of meatball sandwiches. If I had to make it that way, I was prepared to make it that way. So it just snowballed into it. I got a lot of luck and hard work, but luck made it into the bigger movie. But bigger movie, small movie, I just believed in it, and I just always tried to make it. I had to wait for a long time because Don Shirley didn't want me to make it till after he passed away. So I kept to my word to him. But I just felt it was an important movie to make, and I had it in my heart to make it. And luckily it turned out the way it did. But if it didn't, if it was just a small movie, it sounds like a cliche or it's corny, but everyone said, oh, what about winning Oscars? I said, well, I already won. I got the movie made. That's the win. Anything else from that, it's hard to get a movie made. Big, little, it's always difficult. When it's little, it's difficult because it's little. You don't have enough money to do it the right way. If it's big, it's difficult because now you have a lot of money. You better make it good. So it's always a challenge, and it's just a work ethic. I was writing that script, and I was still working in a nightclub at night time. Managing a bar. So it's work. It's hard work. So what if you're a new filmmaker? You can make a movie with an iPhone if you have to. There's no excuse. You can fail. Make something small. Fail. If you're in acting class, you have actors. Do an improv and film it. There's always something you can do. Put a little play up. There's always something to keep working if this is your dream and this is what you want to do. So money, no money. Success, no success. If you love it, if it's in you, the passion, you keep writing, you keep acting classes, you keep working at it, filmmaking, and for me, it paid off in the end.
So I take the chance of this moment to really make something like a balance of this year festival. It has been an amazing challenge because of the situation we are living right now. COVID is still around us. Maybe it will be for at least a few months. Although Ischia is a COVID-free island, and they are really trying to make things work very well. President of Campania region, Vincenzo De Luca, really did his best in order to make things well and support the touristic and cinema touristic industry, as well as the Minister of Health. We have the pleasure to have with us the Vice Minister of Health in Ischia. Tonight will be attending the final night, Honorable Pierpaolo Sileri, who actually I want to thank, as well as La Croce Rossa italiana, and also the all the security people. First of all, la Polizia di Stato with her amazing chief in Ischia, Maria Antonietta Ferrara, and really amazing. And then of course I want to thank so many people here on the island that are being so supportive. One is Ciro Calisole. Actually, he's going to prepare for us his menu, the postcard to Stanley Tucci in a little moment. But all the mayors, all the young steward and hostess who actually are supporting the many maestros of cinema that are coming here every single year in order to please the Italian and to join the island. So it's all about art and friendship is our headline, and let's say it's all about young people. We have a tradition in supporting young people career. Tonight I mentioned we're going to honor 2 new actresses that are going to have a great future. I can remember so many names that we are supporting since their early successes, such as Gerald Butler, Michael Fassbender, Lily Collins, Hero Fine-Tiffin, Selena Gomez, Dominique Cooper, Zoe Dutch, so many. And today we have a young fellow who actually is one of the producers of the birthday cake, Carl Stroud, who actually is here with Nick Vallelonga, that is also starring in this movie. So how was difficult to make this movie happen?
So I actually came on as a post-producer on it and worked more in the final stretch. So Nick was there for the main shoot, and I only came on at the end. So I honestly can't answer that question.
How'd you get involved? Had some quick comments at the end.
So Sienna Oberman, who's the lead producer of the film, is a friend of Nick and mine, and we're working on several films together. We're both based out of LA, and that's how we first connected. But I like finding out what a project needs, what a director needs, and the film it's always the directors, it's always the auteurs, and how can we help, whether it's in developing the script, whether it's financial, whether it's attaching cast, how can we bring value to a director's vision is always first and foremost. And on Birthday Cake, they needed help at the end, not in the beginning.
The way you move your hands means a lot to me, because I know that you're Italian origin. This is for sure you are Italian with all these hands. So Alessandro, Salem, you've been working with so many young talents. You discovered so many young talent as a director, as actors, and also as producer. You've been, helping these fellows, these people to grow. Today, what do you suggest when a young producer approach you and says, I have this idea or I have this other idea, how to be concrete in developing and finalizing a project?
The most important things of my work is exactly to discover the new talents. So we work to discover new talents, of course. What I suggest to the new talents is always start from the idea, from the story. It's the story that push up the project, So you have to start from that. You have to work on that very, very well. And then the other things, financial aspect, casting aspect, choose the actor, choose the director, it's it's like normal consequence. But you have to start always from the story that you want to tell and from the point of view that you want to tell of this story. This is the advice that I can do to the new talent who like to direct a movie or produce a movie or write a movie.
And what is your opinion about the Italian new producers? Do you think that they are approaching the job in a proper way? I mean, so far, what's your opinion?
No, my opinion is that we are living a really great moment. We are living a really magical moment. And I think that in Italy, we are living a form of renaissance. And we are starting, we are going out to, yes, we have this pandemic that was, of course, it was really, really horrible, but we are quite out. And our movie industry is living a really, really good moment. Also, by the aspect of the new talents, actor, director, and then writers. I think we are really as a really gold moment. Dimmi Teresa. As well and producer. Bravo. And producer, young producer.
New generations of producers, directors, and actor, and this perception that we are becoming a great business again in Italy. We have so strong protocols, anti-COVID. All our production and producers have been so good from the very beginning that Germans, American, English, French, all over the world are coming to shoot in Italy. Big international production. We have a renaissance about new screenwriters, because what is happening now that there is a big needing of directors, producers, and script writers, because we have so many production that wants to co-produce with us, and so this is an opportunity for everybody to because in the past, when you have little amount of work, of course all the same people work is a kind of tribute, but now that everything is expanding so much, we are becoming, it's a renaissance, but also a new era of film industry in Italy. And if we are good, if we manage well, not like in the past, we really can become very, very powerful. And this is a thing that I'm saying to everybody, also with agent in Italy, which are a little bit, how do you say lo zoccolo un po' più, l'anello debole?
It's the weakest link.
It's, I don't want to say weakest in a bad way, but they don't understand, they just don't understand this thing of the business, that producers, directors, script writing, the fact that we are hiring so many young talent in any area of the business, that we are great, we are the best one. And I can tell you, because sometimes it happened to me that I confront myself with other reality, and we are good, we are really good in every area. And this is as to become our identity. Yes, it's true. Sometimes I start to work with an UK producer, and I'm doing also casting in UK. And sometimes they look at me a little bit Italian, because we have, unfortunately, something that make people think when they start to work with us, they are really a little bit, how do you say, cautious. But then, when we are so good, after 2 hours, today, 2 weeks, they just trust us. Because what we have in Italy, we can do so many things all together. We have, our brain are so elastic, and we are so passionate about things, that we have something really strong. Yes.
This is a wonderful point that has just been made. I've been lucky enough now to shoot 2 movies in Italy. I've also been lucky enough to shoot almost everywhere: New York, Los Angeles, Stockholm, Sweden, all the cities in Canada. And the first thing that filmmakers, directors like myself want to know if we're going to go to a location is, how are the crews? How are the crews? Because if the crews aren't there with us, we will never be able to finish the movie on time. We'll always be behind, and we'll be in big, big trouble. I found out, starting with my cinematographer, Cotticelli, John Frido Cotticelli, who's a David winner, who's as good a cinematographer who I've ever worked with, but also the entire film crews I've worked with in Italy on both movies were as good as anywhere in the world, and everyone should know that. Yes.
Just to add to that quickly, Italian cinema it's important for it to be elevated and back to where it was, because we grew up watching, the great Italian films. So Italian films were influenced by American movies, but then the American movies got influenced by Italian filmmakers, Leone, Fellini, De Sica. I think American film and now television, because I think television is in the same world, because, for example, like Gomorrah. Everyone goes crazy for Gomorrah in the U.S., but Gomorrah might have been influenced by The Sopranos. But from The Sopranos, Gomorrah, amazing show. Now everyone's trying to make Gomorrah. So I think Italian cinema, television is so important because it raises the level of us as filmmakers, because not that there's a competition, but there's a great influence to make great art. And I think having the Italian films back up a level. We saw a young filmmaker last night. It was an amazing film. He won the Venice screenwriter, Pietro. You need young Italian filmmakers, and you need to raise the level because it influences us also Americans to, oh, that's really good. We have to try to make it like this, So it's very important that Italian cinema is doing well.
But I think it's a reciprocate thing, because also I think in Italy the level is going up so quickly. Also because we have accept all the Netflix, Amazon movie and TV series, so all the people are watching that. And so it's a thing that we are building together. I think maybe in our business we can be united and take the best from everyone, always.
I agree. I think I'd say one thing. If you thought about 10 years ago in the popular mind, if you talked about Italian cinema, it was considered to be old. It was a thing from the 50s and the 60s. It was Fellini, it was Visconti, it was Rossellini, and it was made by people that were now dead. Whereas today, in the last several years, between movies like La Grande Bellezza, or Matteo Garrone, or Luca Guadagnino, there is a new generation, and there is a belief that the Italian cinema has woken up again, that it's not sleeping anymore.
Yeah.
I think the smartest conclusion we can have. So thank you so much, Marc Bikindou, Alessandro Salem, Nick Vallelonga, Bobby Moresco, Godfrey Deeny, Teresa Razzauti, and Carl Stroud, who actually is originally from Sicily. His father is from Ireland. Stroud sounds more like a German or Austrian, like Waltz, Christoph Waltz, maybe. Anyway, enjoy, guys. Now I want to finish with the maestro of Alessandro. You should see this. This is the maestro is working. Ciro Calise for his new plate. This is the daily postcard to Stanley Tucci. Allora, vieni. Vieni Bruna, vieni. Vai di là. Ok.
Allora, oggi voglio presentare un piatto dove praticamente metto in mostra la mia grande passione per l'architettura.
I want to present you a dish today where I show my great passion for architecture.
È un piatto che praticamente nasce da un mio viaggio, una piccola esperienza che ho fatto in Marocco.
And it's the outcome of a small experience I made in Morocco.
E questa non è altro, è una tartare di tonno fatta con del timo e arancio.
It's tuna fish tartare, and it is also with orange and spices and herbs.
Poi c'è una dadolata di devo per forza farlo, una dadolata di avocado, sempre all'arancio.
And then avocado cut into cubes with orange in it.
E una ricottina fresca che praticamente va a finire il piatto, e poi l'architettura, il disegno.
And then a fresh ricotta which completes the dish. And then we do the design, the pattern here.
Ecco, e quindi questo qui va a completare un po' il mondo arabo, dove Ischia praticamente ha tanta influenza araba, e quindi questo è il piatto. Si accende la candela e la sera illumina tutto il piatto e dà la sensazione che anche il nero è brillante.
And this drawing somehow reminds of the Arabic connections, because Ischia, it has a lot of Arabic influences. And then at night we lit up the candle, which lights up the whole dish, and even the black of the plate looks bright.
Questo qui è uno dei piatti, insomma, principi, molto raffinato, che è bellissimo la sera.
And this is one of the main dishes. It's very sophisticated, it's very beautiful and good at night.
Ciro Calise, grazie mille. Enjoy your day here at Ischia Global. Look after the final gala tonight at La Madonnina Hotel in Casamicciola. Enjoy.
Go see the birthday cake tonight.